Welcome to a demo of Essential HR. Essential HR is a human capital management system that includes payroll and tax, electronic new hire onboarding, e-signature, document storage, and employee self-service. And I'm logged in here today as the administrator. When the administrator logs in, they're brought to this dashboard where I can see any to-do items that need my attention and approval. With Essential HR, employees can use their self-service site to request changes to their W-4 or their direct deposit. I can click on those, approve those changes, and the system is updated automatically. I can also see any new hires that have completed their electronic paperless onboarding. I can also review the I-9s that have been completed by the new hire, click into these and approve those and sign off on the section 2 of the I-9. I can also see any time off requests submitted by the employee as well. To the right, I'll be able to see birthday reminders, employee anniversary reminders, and these reminders are also triggering email alerts to the employee, their supervisor, or the entire company. To the left, you'll see the company announcement area where I can really promote employee engagement and communication by using this area to post news and announcements, link to other websites, even company photographs or videos. And these will also be visible to the employee in their self-service site. To the right, you'll see a green button. If your company is using our Asure time and attendance system, you'll be able to click here and access your employee time cards to review those, approve those. You could also view a company time off calendar here, as well as update employee schedules. The navigation for Essential HR is down the left-hand side of your screen, as you see here. Following your implementation, you'll be able to click into the employee maintenance area, and this is where you'll view your employee master. And this is in alphabetical order, as you see here. At the very top, you'll see the employee summary, which provides you access to a list of all of your employees, as well as you can drill down into each one of these and see more information. I could sort this list up or down alphabetically, as well as by other columns such as hire date. I can also jumpstart an Excel spreadsheet from here by just simply clicking the download button. As you look to the left, you'll see the key payroll tabs that we'll set up for you in this implementation. You'll see, for example, compensation, where we'll load all of your employees' hourly or salary pay rates. You can view those here for the entire company, or you can just search for one employee. You can also click here to change a rate of pay. So I could click here, for example, to go into a particular employee's rate of pay, enter an effective date, enter the new rate, and we provide an optional change reason that you can use to document the reason for that change. And with this blue plus sign, you can create your own custom pick list for this. So over time, as you start using the system, you will see here, if we look at one particular employee like Rebecca, over time, you'll start to see your developing pay change history. You'll see your initial pay rate when we start using the system, and over time, you'll see those changes. If your employee has additional rates of pay, like a secondary rate of pay for other jobs they perform, those are stored in the alternate pay tab. You can also see that we can handle auto labor distribution in the system. We can handle child supports and garnishment payments as well. We can also handle your direct deposits. We can also set up your time off accruals in the system, your rules for your time off, vacation, sick, PTO, and you can view those time off balances here. We can also set up your scheduled earnings and deductions for those things like medical, vision, dental, 401k, those deductions that are recurring. So we set those up here and they automatically happen every payroll. You'll also see the tax settings here for your employees for federal, state, and local. You can edit and update this information as needed throughout the employee life cycle. The first thing you'll most likely do in the system is process payroll. So let's jump into the payroll tab and show you how simple it is to process your payroll. Within the application, we will set up your calendar, your payroll calendar. And when you click into the payroll tab, you'll see your calendar, whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly. They will show up as a series of check dates here. To start the payroll, you'll simply click the Run Payroll button. And when I do that, it will open up an area that looks like this, and you'll see at the very top a series of steps that the system will take you through to process your payroll. On the batch sheet here, you'll be able to see some default settings. If everything looks good, you'll just click the Create Checks button to take you to the next step. And you can see when I click the Create Checks that if you're using our Asure Time and Attendance solution, that it will bring over automatically the hours from the timesheets, and it will populate those here. You will also see that the system, when it opens the pay grid, will automatically bring in your employee salaries from the master file. And it will also bring over any medical, vision, dental, any scheduled deductions, if those are in the system, and populate those in the payroll as well. Now, as you look at the payroll grid here, you see that we have the employees' names on the left. You can order this by name or employee number. You can also see we have columns here, and these are your particular earning codes that we'll set up the headings for here. You can move these around. You can click and drag and move these from side to side on the fly, as you see here. You can also come into the Edit column button and click Edit to format or configure this grid going forward. So for example, if you want to always have a general bonus amount in your grid, you could set that up there as well. So now, in addition to keying my regular and overtime, I can also drop in some hours for bonus. Now, if you need to set up the bonus as a second check, not a problem. We don't have to put that in the regular paycheck. You can click Add Check and add a second check for any employee right from this grid. You'll see here that when we came into the pay grid, as I mentioned, the Asure Time timesheets are populating this data automatically. But if you're not using our Asure Time system, you could certainly come in here and type in the hours worked into a blank column here. So again, you can do manual entry of those hours, or you can use the time clock import feature to import a time file, either, for example, from a CSV, from a spreadsheet, like a commission spreadsheet, for example, or maybe you're using a third-party time and attendance system that you can export a file from, and as long as that file is in our required format, you could import those hours directly in here, eliminating that manual data entry. In addition to seeing a view of the payroll from the summary level, you could also click into other views as well. If you wanted to click into the detail view, you could enter hours worked by job or by department. You could also click into the detail view to actually see the full check and be able to override any of those deductions on the fly to make any one-off changes to the payroll. But if payroll looks good here for you, you click the next step, which is the totals, which will bring you to this total page. And again, you can click into any of these columns that are now appearing vertically and double check your data entry. So I could double check the hours that I keyed for bonus there, etc. I can also, from this area, click the pre-process button to run a pre-process routine. This is going to run a preliminary payroll for me to view. It will calculate the taxes in a gross to net payroll register. Once the payroll calculates, you'll see I have on the right all of my tax, federal, state, local tax calculations. Again, I can also review a pre-processed register with this gross to net information as well. If everything looks good, I'm ready to click Finish and submit the payroll to Asure. At this point, Asure will take over. We'll do your direct deposits. We'll handle any paper checks. We'll also take care of your tax deposits, your tax returns, whether it be a quarterly or annual return. We'll also handle any child support or garnishment payments as well. And we can email your payroll reports to you securely. But just know that we're always going to keep a copy of your payroll reports on the left here in the payroll report area. So I'll be able to click here and see my payroll reports. We have a variety of payroll reports in the system, but you'll see the ones that we set up specifically for your company. If your company needs a workers' comp report, we can have that available. If your company needs a job costing report, we have a job costing report where you can have that information available. We can do restaurant-related reports as well, and also certified payroll, both federal and state reports. We also never purge history. So if you want to access a payroll register for multiple pay periods, you'll see a list of your pay periods and you can run a report across multiple pay periods. You can also, once you start using the system, go back to previous years of history and run a payroll report across multiple years as well. You can filter in the system by employee. You could select one employee and run a report for the whole year for one employee. You could also filter by org level, whether it be company, division, branch, department. You could just click on which company you wanted to run a report for as well. We also have ad hoc report writer as well, which will allow you to select certain fields and design your own spreadsheet and export amounts or dollars or hours or taxes as well to a spreadsheet. We have a check calculator, which will allow you to do a what if calculation. For example, if an employee comes to you and says, what if I change my exemptions from 1 to 2? What's that going to do to my net check? You can do a what if calculation. You can also do a gross up calculation here where you enter the net check. Let's say you want to pay someone $100 after taxes for a Christmas bonus, and the system will calculate that gross up for you. And now as we move away from payroll, we can talk about some additional features of our system. For example, onboarding. This onboarding will allow your new hires to complete their new hire packet electronically, paperlessly. And this is very easy to use because we already have that onboarding set up. The onboarding, including the I-9, the W-4, the direct deposit enrollment form, those forms are already included in our system. But you can also add your own additional company documents. Think about what's in your new hire packet right now. You could come into the company area, you could click company documents, and you can upload any of those company handbooks or any additional documents by clicking add document. Scan that to your computer, upload that, and you can also mark that with e-signature requirements. So within our system, we offer e-signature capabilities. And that is not only for onboarding, but we can also, through this envelope feature, you can push a company policy out to your existing employees for e-signature. And I would do that by clicking this envelope and indicating which employees need to see this in their self-service. This would push that out to self-service. The employees can click into that document and sign it electronically, and that will save that then in their document storage. So no more passing documents back and forth with emails and having employees print things out and sign and scan it back in. We also have the ability in the system to upload what we call enhanced documents. In the enhanced document area, you could upload a document that was a fillable document, if you will, such as a PDF that had blanks on it. And then you could use the editor, the template editor, just like you do with DocuSign, to click and drag and design that document so that you could upload that document for employees to not just sign, but to complete the individual fields. So I can design this document and tell exactly what I want to be entered into each of the fields, and it can be text or check boxes or drop downs, etc. So now that we have our documents in the system, let's go in and set up our new hire packet. Within the system, you can also create your own questions to add to the new hire experience through the question bank. And you can create as many questions as you want to ask. For example, these can be multiple choice, fill in the blank, date responses. Some people want to ask, what is your t-shirt size? And provide in here a multiple choice answer for new hires. You can also now go into the task list and create as many new hire packet versions as you need. For example, you may have a sales new hire packet that has your non-compete agreements included, as well as your sales questions. And then you may have an operations packet that has more operational questions. Once this is set up to onboard a new hire, you simply click the onboarding prep. You tell the system, I'm getting ready to hire a W-2 employee. They're going to come in as what title? Let's say a customer service manager. And they are going to complete which new hire packet. So I can select which new hire packet I want that new hire to complete. The system will automatically generate the next employee ID number, and I'll click Let's Begin Onboarding, enter their email address, their starting pay, and a few pieces of basic information about the position that they're hiring into. And then the system will launch an email to that new hire. Okay, so now let's take a look at the new hire experience. The employee has received the email with the link. They click into the Begin Onboarding link and they're brought to the welcome screen. Again, you can bring in your logo and any custom message you'd like to develop here. And you see here I have a profile section. The employee completes their profile. They have some gender, ethnicity, military, vet information you're gathering, as well as their state tax elections. So you're bringing in the state tax elections. They can also complete their emergency contacts, enroll in direct deposit up to 3 accounts, and approve and authorize their employer to handle the direct deposit. I can also complete my W-4. The W-4 is built in the system. If the employee has difficulty understanding the W-4, we have a link here that takes them to the IRS site where they can read that and move forward. They sign and continue. Then it brings me to the I-9. The I-9 is here, both English and Spanish instructions, so they can sign off on their section 1 of their I-9. And it is completing the real I-9 behind the scenes, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. I can save and continue. I can complete a background screen authorization section. These sections can be turned on or off if this is not something you want included in your process. And then they come to the company document section where really you could put your handbook or policy document. They would be able to click here, complete that, read that, sign off electronically if that's required. And then you'll see here, I've already signed this one. It will put a checkbox there, and then I'm able to go to the next step. Then it brings me to the custom questions, and you can see here our multiple choice, our yes/no questions. We can also do date responses and fill in the blanks. And then we can gather here additional documents that you want the employee to upload during onboarding. So the employees can upload things like a driver's license or voided check. You can put your own custom instructions in here to have them upload back to you any of those supporting documents, and the system will file these in the document storage for your future access. And then they click Save and Continue, which brings them to a thank you for completing end message that you can also customize. So once they've submitted this, the administrator will receive an email that lets you know that a new hire has completed their onboarding. And you can view that here in the onboarding dashboard. The onboarding dashboard will allow me to see all the onboardings that are in progress and the status of those. Here you can see there are some onboardings that have not started yet. I sent the email, but they've not clicked in and started onboarding. I can send an email reminder by clicking this little envelope. These people have started but have not submitted, and these folks have submitted their onboarding. I can click into their record and review everything they completed, including the documents that they signed. When I'm ready to approve this, I click Approve, and that will move that information from the onboarding area of the system here, and it will drop it into the Employee Master. It will drop in the compensation that I entered when I was prepping this new hire. It will drop in the direct deposit information. It will also drop in their W-4 information as well, their tax elections, and I can click here to see the I-9 that it dropped in. I can see those I-9s here that need to be clicked into to complete the Section 2. So again, I can click here to review the Section 1 that they completed. I can see how they completed the Section 1. I cannot update this information, but I can come down here and complete the Section 2 of the I-9, sign off as well, and record that and save. When I do that, it will move that I-9 from the not complete area into the complete area. So now I have a full separate folder where all my I-9s are stored. I can click on any of these at any time and download and print these to paper if necessary. So most importantly with this system, in addition to the I-9, is the fact that under the document employee area, the onboarding is filing automatically all these documents that your new hire completed into document storage. So this will show you a little bit more about our document storage that's included here. I probably have 3,000 or 4,000 documents in my demo site here. But the system is filing these automatically, and then I can search by typing in a keyword. So for example, if I want to find all the documents that have the word handbook, I can search all my employee handbooks and see all those for every employee. I can also click the add button here to add additional documents. So if I have a file cabinet that has paper documents in it that I want to automate and make those electronic, I can click here and scan my paper documents that are in my file cabinet, upload those here. So now I have a complete backup of all my paper documents, and I can access all of this from the web. The employee search area, I can also click any employee and zero in on that one employee and see all of their documents. So I can go right to just the documents for that one employee. Now that we've added the new hire and approved that new hire and it's dropped all their information in, a few other notes about that process. When I click approve, it not only puts that new hire in my master file here, it's also pushing that new hire into the Asure time and attendance system. So if you're using our time and attendance system, it's dropping in and creating that employee profile in the time and attendance as well. So those folks can be set up to use time and attendance for clocking in and clocking out and so forth. This concludes our demo of Essential HR. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for your time.